Hi, I'm going to give you brief instructions about your lab today. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask during class. If you're absent, you can kind of get an idea of what we will be doing. Give me just a second. Let me pull up the assignment. Okay, for this assignment, each student will need their iPad and their own Google Docs document pulled up. You're going to go ahead and title this. Make sure you treat it like a normal paper you turn in with your name, date, class, period. What this will do will ensure to me that each student is using their own document. So please make sure at the top of the page you can select page layout mode if you hit the three dots at the top right hand side on iPads on the Google Docs app, and select page layout, and it'll allow you to put a header at the top when you double click at the very top of the page. If you don't have to, you can just put it at the top of the the very first line of the document, name, date, class, period, and then also title the lab L5.1 Simple Pendulum. This is just a standard protocol as if you were turning in a paper. The reason being, again, each student is going to be in charge of their own. So if you turn in somebody else's copied link or something that you've worked together and it has somebody else's name on it, then that's kind of a telltale sign that you're now using somebody else's document, and that would be referred to as cheating, and you would get a 0 for the assignment. All right, the objective of the assignment is to determine what the effects on a period would be if you change different variables. So you have stuff like the mass or the length of string. You can also change the height at which you drop it from. That's referred to as the amplitude. And anything else we can think of in class, we're going to brainstorm and try to come up with ideas. You can also come up with your ideas. If you refer back to the assignment on Canvas, you will notice that it does say that you have to do at least 2 to get full credit. If you want extra credit, you can test 3 or more variables. For each assignment, for each test, not assignment. So this is all going to be on one Google Doc. I need to see at least 2 tests that you've done. For each test, we need to see a hypothesis statement in which you discuss the variables that you're going to remain constant and ones that you're going to change, the variable that you're going to change to see how it affects the period of the pendulum. The next thing that you will do is have data collection. Data collection always needs to put in a chart or a table is what Google Docs calls it. You can hit the plus button and then insert table to select what you need there. And kind of the next thing that we talk about with that data, we always also need to graph the data on Google Docs. What I would ask you to do is not to fit a line to it, because we're going to talk about the graphs in class. We want to make sure that they're being linear and direct. A direct relationship would mean that they are increasing at the equal proportional rate. So that means that it would have to go through the origin. And if when you draw a best fit line, it does not go through the origin, then it is probably not a direct relationship or a linear. It is probably a different type of relationship, and we'll be discussing those as we go on. I'm mentioning this because there are some variables that you can change that affect the period of the pendulum that would not be linear in nature. They would be a power variable or anything, maybe a square, maybe a square root, maybe exponential of some kind. So we got to determine that in the lab, and we'll be talking about that as the next couple of days progress. The next thing you want to look at that we'll need for each test is a conclusion. On each one of the conclusions, you must refer back to your data, and you must support your conclusion with the data that you have collected as a group. So that kind of sets up the overall assignment itself. So your Google Doc, you'll turn in with your name, date, class, period on it at the top of the page, then the title, L5.1 Simple Pendulum. Then you'll have the remaining body of text on the Google Doc will be at least 2 tests in which you have put a hypothesis statement, data collected, graph of the data, and conclusion that refers to that data. As always, I'll be in class, and I will be there to answer any questions that you may have. And we will also be discussing the different types of variables you can try. I threw out a couple at the beginning of this introduction video of mass and length of string, as well as the amplitude. You can change those, and we will also be talking about other things that might change. If you have any questions and you aren't in class, or you aren't able to see me in class, don't hesitate to message me on Canvas, and we will go from there. Thanks.